If you've ever had your weapon stolen by Master Chief, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Guys, like and comment with the craziest maneuver you've ever pulled on the Covenant. Always interested in hearing of your crazy psychotic exploits. The UNSC will try and keep you from commenting. I will not. Do your worst. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking to support the channel, we of course have Onward Research, my very own company. Whether you're carrying an M6 or whether you're carrying one of those older relics. I know some of you guys are still rocking Glock 17s from way long ago. In any case, LAS, Onward Concealment, they're on my website. Go check them out. Very sick little holster. If you're looking to support the channel, of course, Big Daddy Limited. Big Daddy Limited, Costco of the UNSC world, whatever your heart desires, it is certainly on there. And of course, we can't forget ACRE Gold. Gold is a currency standard, even still, among the UNSC. So make sure you check them out in the dude bag. You're looking to get something for your friends or off-world or something like that, definitely go check them out. Cool little gift boxes. Make sure you check those guys out because they support this channel. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about the MA5C. It is finally here. It has been a long time in coming. You know, there's good about it and there's bad about it, but I want to talk a little bit about it. Now, to be clear, I'm sorry for being a little bit late on uploading. We are currently underway, so, you know, try to ignore all the background noise. I just have a little sheet up here in my bunk, but make sure we bring you guys good content because I've had a good amount of time on the MA5C at this point, and I wanted to give you guys some of the tips and tricks that we've done over at our unit, things that might help you guys. We've got a lot of time to work with some ODSTs, and that's kind of really changed my perspective on this gun a little bit. Previous to this, we kind of did skip over the MA5B. The Bravo models weren't really used by my particular unit. We stuck to the MA37s for a long time, which is an absolute workhorse of a rifle. But in any case, as we always do, what is my relationship with Mizraya Armory? Nothing. They could give a crap less about me, and that's okay. I still like their guns quite a bit. So the MA5 Charlie is a gas-operated, air-cooled, magazine-fed rifle. Let's go ahead and release that for you. It is a good design. Let's talk a little bit about some of the good things they did and some of the bad things they did. You know, unfortunately, we seem to have a lot of the carryovers from the MA5 Bravo and the MA37, but there's some definitely good things here, and those are more kind of electronic in nature, but let's get into it. And we're gonna do what we always do and what the UNSC Navy loves. We're gonna go tip to butt. So starting up at the front of this particular rifle, we have the muzzle device, which is none. Now, depending on the barrel that you have, you might have notches cut into the front, and those will accept sound suppressors. So those of you lucky enough to be able to requisition those, I certainly recommend it because the MA5 Charlie, as it typically comes with no muzzle device. Absolutely bizarre. Apparently this was a thing on the MA5 Bravo, got a lot of guys killed because without a muzzle device, we are getting pretty good amounts of flash, and at night or even during the day, this is giving away people's positions. So the fact that Mizraya, or perhaps the UNSC, still requested a firearm without a muzzle device is absolutely bizarre to me. But the good news is it's easily requisitionable. If you have the barrel with the notches, you can simply add any muzzle device, some type of flash suppressor or something like that. Mizraya sells a ton. If you don't have the notches on your particular rifle, like this one, we actually have this little thread protector right here. You see a little black tip right there. You can screw that right off and you can add whatever flash suppressor we use. Unfortunately, I can't show the one that we're using right now. For a variety of reasons, I do this, kind of have this checked out of the Army right now. It's not the best thing to do, but in any case, wish I could show it to you, but we can't. But definitely recommend those flash suppressors. And that brings us to the barrel. So the barrel is 24 inches. You know, speaking of kind of dimensions on this gun, so it's not terribly heavy. This one is loaded up, and so we are at about 9.05 pounds on this particular gun, and about 8-ish unloaded. So it is fairly lightweight for what we're getting, because we are getting a 24-inch barrel. So 24-inch barrel with a 7.62 by 51 armor-piercing round, like, you should be able to really launch these projectiles. Yet I've seen after action report report of guys complaining that they simply aren't able to hit targets out past 300 meters, and it's due to the twist rate. So for whatever reason, they stuck to precisely what they did with the MA37 and the MA5 Bravo, which was they stuck with a 1 in 7 twist, which is not at all applicable to a heavier round that we have from the 7.62 by 51. So the question is, how do we deal with that? Well, quite easily. All you have to do is send in a requisition request, and at the next colony you stop at, you should be able to get barrel blanks or that are easily milled out by your gunsmiths or your armorers on your ship, and you can easily get 1 in 10 twist barrels. With the 1 in 10 twist barrels, this thing is a damn just fine rifle. So we have the 1 in 10s on our particular guns. We got them installed pretty much right off the bat. With the 1 in 10, you can easily take shots out to 1,000 meters. So, you know, for you guys who've been out there, you know, crushing down to those colony worlds where, you know, Covenant first, you know, kind of first contact with us. So they're used to, you know, firing crystals at each other and slow moving green little plasma and shit. And suddenly a 7.62 by 51 armor piercing projectile at 150 grains comes at them at like 3 times the speed of sound. It just crushes straight through their shield and, you know, spreads blue brains everywhere. Beautiful sight. And you can easily do that due to the projectiles, the design of them as far as their flight pattern, as well as the propellants used, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful sight. So make sure that you swap out those barrels and you can just have yourself a good time slotting elites and grunts and whatever else you might do with this good old weapon. Okay, we have pretty much the same weapon light that we had on the MA37 as well as the MA5 Bravo. Mizraya light, you can see this one's been through a lot of hell. They work, absolutely no problem. There are, of course, buttons for it if you want to put a pressure pad on there. Absolute insanity if you're still using tactile pressure pads. We have everything Neuralinked on our particular guns. I think it's a superior system. I would highly recommend it. You can do the helmet link. I think it's a little bit more clunky. You know, what year is this? You know, what are we, 2200 or something like that? So I would recommend a Neuralink if you're using the MA5 Charlie. We all have them, the upgraded models, and they work absolutely perfect. So definitely recommend the Neuralink. Light's easy to put on, boop, boop. So yeah, the light is simple with a Neuralink. It's just think about it and it happens. There's no problem with it. The grip is much improved over the MA37. I will say that. I find that it's just much easier to grip onto the gun. And a good thing to be said about it is that, you know, the MA37 got a little hot. And we'll talk about that in a second, but it is relatively cool down here on the MA5 Charlie, even under fully automatic fire. So I dumped a couple mags through this gun, and I really didn't feel any heat through here. But where the problem lies is we do have these venting ports right up here. You can see them. They're trying to cool the barrel off because, you know, we're launching 7.62 just constantly through these things, slug after slug. So they do heat up. And the problem comes down to the fact that they wanted to make sure that this gun would just run through everything. I've talked to a bunch of Marines, a couple of ODST guys, and they said that this will certainly run through any environment out there, and I certainly agree. But they did that, unfortunately, by overgassing it. So we do have a short stroke gas piston system, which is extremely reliable. It's been used for literally 400 years at this point. But the problem is it's so overgassed that you probably see it in the video of me shooting it, but it's, with the current visors and helmet designs that we have, the amount of pressure that's sucking out from under my visor, I'd almost recommend a sealed system. The ODST guys don't have this problem. Of course, certain other individuals don't have this problem. But you can see in the video, I blink sometimes when I'm firing, and you know, I've shot hundreds and hundreds of thousands of rounds through the MA37. But despite that, there's just a lot of pressure, a lot of unburnt carbon that is getting into your eyes off of the gas stroke piston system, and it's not the best, right? Especially under automatic fire, it can really begin to blind you. So if you're out there, I would highly recommend getting one of the sealed visors. That's going to help you a lot when it comes to this particular system. All right, as you can see, MA37s come in a variety of color schemes. We have this painted with the yellow stripe to designate our particular unit, but no matter there. So moving back, we do have power buttons on both sides. I've seen some crazy stuff on the vids online. By the way, be careful with what you're posting, guys. But we have lights on the sides of the electronic suite right there, on the opposite side right there, just basic status symbols and that type of stuff, if you've, you know, normal stuff. course, have our power buttons on the left and right hand side. The problem is that those lights, of course, give you away. I don't know why you guys aren't being taught it earlier, but when you tap and turn these on, one tap is on with lights, tap and hold, and it will go into a tactical mode, and your lights won't be on, but your electronic suite will turn on. Your display will be dimmed, and everything will just feed in through your Neuralink or through your helmet if you're living in the year 2200. So again, double tap, hold it down, linked in, easy. And that is how you should be activating your guns, because you don't want those lights giving yourself away. Be professionals out there, guys, right? Hold yourself to a higher standard, just knowing how to turn on your gun. Make sure you're doing good stuff. Speaking of the electronic suite, this thing is incredible. I kind of talked a little bit about it with the targeting, but this new stuff that they have on the MA5C is much, much improved over the MA37. There is no doubt about it. We do, of course, have the rudimentary compass and ammo counter at the back right here. And honestly, I really don't see the point of it because everything's Neuralink nowadays, but it's there. I turn mine off. I just keep it dimmed. I don't use it at all. But what's good about this is the targeting software. It's feeding in from multiple different positions as it can link in, and even under contested environments where you're getting a lot of jamming, it's still able to get a lot of signals collected. And so when it's calculating those flight paths, like almost within a millimeter, I'm almost getting precise impacts exactly where I want. As long as I'm doing my part, doing a good trigger pull and that type of thing, I am dead on the money. So the electronics are incredible. Also, if you're getting stoppages, your gun's starting to chug down and stuff, it will tell you precisely where the problem is. This thing is good. So I can't recommend the electronic suite upgrade that they put on the MA5C. Somehow, Ms. Raya did a good thing right there. Okay, loading, unloading is very much so like the MA37 and the MA5B. I don't have as much, like I said, time on that one. But we have a magazine release right here on the left-hand side, and then we have our magazine. So we did a couple good things here. So we're gonna hit that magazine release. We have our magazine right there. It is now a 32 round magazine. A lot of people are pissed about that for the MA37 users out there. We didn't really care. And here's the problem. The 60 round magazines on the MA5 Bravo were awesome, right? I hear you guys loved them quite a bit. Cool, you can just hose guys down. But the problem is that those springs on your guns they had so much travel length that you were just running into multiple malfunctions. I couldn't believe when I heard that MA5 Bravos were malfunctioning because the MA37s never did. So they went back down to the 32 round magazine. Again, reliability is back to being top notch. By magazine capacity is halved. Well, not mine, but guys who use a Bravo model. Is that a big deal? Honestly, no. With the good barrels, like I told you about the replacements, this gun kind of falls into a different category in my opinion. And you have a extremely capable gun. You shouldn't be bullet hosing this. You should be taking semi-automatic place shots and blowing brains out. Honestly. All right, moving over, we have the safety. Here's a controversial topic right here. Okay, safety, we don't run manual safeties. We run all of our safeties through Neuralink. Don't at me, get in the comments, yell at me about it, I don't care. Neuralink is way better. Look at this, I'm up, I see somebody, safety on, safety off, safety on, whatever, easy. It's all done through a Neuralink. I would highly recommend it. It is faster, it is more simple. I don't ever have to move my hand at all. I can have my finger on that trigger ready to pull. As soon as I'm ready, safety off, bang. Easy, guys. Really, there's no reason why you should have a manual safety on this particular gun. There's better ways to handle things nowadays. All right, trigger time. So before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about loading the gun. I wish I could show you guys precisely how to load and unload. Unfortunately, due to the security measures that we have in place, if I load a round in there, I'm going to get security on my ass. So suffice to say, it's very much so like an older gun that a lot of you love, which is the HK MP5. So what you're going to do is I'm going to take the charging handle, I'm going to pull it back, I'm going to lock it up, and then I'm going to remove the magazine, put in a fresh one right here. Since that fresh one is in, I'm going to slap that charging handle, it's going to bring it forward, load around. It's not a super fast loading mechanism, however, it is a very secure and a very reliable one, so it works very well. Make sure with your magazines, if you have a 32 magazine fully loaded, that you don't try to seat that on a bolt that is forward. You need to lock that back. You're going to lose a round. If you really need to catch it, honestly, with supply chains being what they are, it probably shouldn't be as much of an issue, except for certain individuals. So something to think about right there. All right, trigger. So weapon is unloaded. I have one trigger pull because after that I can't really manipulate the charging handle. So we're gonna go side trigger right together, guys. So put your finger right over mine. Go ahead and feel that trigger. There is a lot of talk about using your neural link and using an electronic trigger, and we can talk about that later. But for now, I am using a manual trigger. I do prefer to feel that trigger squeeze, physically. All right, feeling through it. Almost no wall, just right up against it. There we are. Easy, maybe 3 pounds, maybe. Beautifully smooth, crisp trigger. Just perfect for semi-automatic fire. This gun begs to be shot accurately and to be just put through its paces. Okay, and that kind of brings us over to how does it feel to shoot, right? So we've talked a little bit about this. So with everything kind of lining up, it is a little bit more stout than the MA37, and I owe that primarily to the gassing. I will say that is a more reliable system, but I found that the MA37 was, how do we say it? It was smoother. It felt smoother. This one feels a little bit more violent when you shoot it. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just, you know it's there, you know it's gonna function and power through any type of mud and grit, but it's just, in some ways it feels like a step back, and in others, due to the upgraded electronics and a lot of other things, it feels better. So, we kind of have a lot of trade-offs, and honestly, I think when it comes down to the MA5 Bravo versus the MA37, it kind of comes down to personal preference. If we could have the electronic suite of the MA5 Charlie on the MA37, all day, guys. I would totally run that all day. But in any case, most of you probably being forced to turn in your MA37, so that's not so much a problem. Running in from there, we have our cheek rest and of course our rubberized butt pad. If you're familiar with the MA5 Bravo, MA37, it feels absolutely awesome. There are no issues there. So what does it come down to? Well, we have these rifles, whether we want them or not. That's not me being like a UNSC puppet or anything like that. But frankly, they're good. The guts are good. The mechanism is good. Yes, it recoils hard, but at the same time, those barrel upgrades and muzzle device put you in a really, really good spot. I really think that this is a great killer of the Covenant. And I can't recommend this thing enough. I know some of you have put way more kills on these things than I have, and I can't wait to hear those stories. But overall, the MA5 Charlie gets a good pass from me. I think this will end up being a rifle for a very long time from here on out. But we'll see. Time will tell. But in any case, guys, as you know, as I always say, as cool as this rifle is, it's not gonna matter if you don't get training. Get training, guys. Obviously, your standard training that you're getting through UNSC is great, but there are tons of other great options out there. Of course, I have Bear Solutions, former ODST, same with Cogworks, Haley Strategic, one of those Marine Raiders. Tons of great guys out there. The point is, they're gonna teach you, you're gonna learn, you're gonna get better with whatever weapon you choose to use. So make sure that you're training out there, because that is what matters. Now, the war's a little crazy out there, guys. Stay safe. Love you guys. I've got nothing else for you. Final thing for you guys. Keep a little rock on you. Somebody throws a plasma grenade, catch it on the rock, throw it back. Blows their fucking minds, literally. If you guys are looking to support the channel all the way, don't forget about the Patreon. Patreon directly contributes to make this channel better. Patreon's through Grand Thumb. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Got nothing else for you. Final note, guys. Thank you for watching. These are stupid, but I enjoy doing them. A big shout out to all the guys that went into this project. Almost fell apart at the last second, but we managed to make it work. So I want to make sure I read these off to read out the individuals who helped me accomplish this. But we have the MA5C was done by Brand First Studios and Johnson Arms Props. The armor, the marine armor, was done by Hitbox Workshop and Backyard Props. So if you're looking to get that type of stuff, go check those guys out. Thank you guys. Thank you for indulging my stupid stuff. Love you guys. Take care.